Hello, my name is Angela, and I am the host of a weekly web series called Call to Action. I am the National Director of Silent No More Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on protecting healthcare workers before, after, and during an assault in the workplace. Today's Call to Action video was an interview with Katie Blanchard, who is an Army nurse that was assaulted last year on the job, nearly resulting in her death. Today we are going to talk about her assault and about her life in her recovery, and also we are going to discuss what she is working on to change the current trends of healthcare workplace violence within the military. The stuff that we face in civilian life, people in the military also face as well. When it comes to healthcare workplace violence, they have it around them probably just as frequently as we do. And their internal reporting processes and accountability is probably just as bad as we experience it in our system too. So we were having some pretty significant technical difficulties getting started on this video. So instead of sharing a video that has 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes of me struggling to get started, I went ahead and cut that first little bit and decided to reset the video this way. So when you come into the video, you're going to come into it right when we first got started. So sit back, enjoy, and if you'd like to get involved in the conversation, join us in the group Healthcare Workers Protection Act 2017 on Facebook. We'll see you there. Katie, I just invited, so if you get that invite, you go ahead and accept. There we go. Hey,
Hi.
Katie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. Gosh, that was awful, but I'm so glad you finally got here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you. So how are you today?
Oh, doing pretty good. I had CO2 laser on Friday, and so feeling
I saw.
a little stiff this morning, but doing good.
Oh my gosh. So I am not a burn or wound care nurse, so I don't know anything about this. So you're still going through treatments with CO2 laser. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, so I think one of the more interesting things that I've learned going through this process is just like you, I'm not a burn nurse. And, I remember learning a little bit about it in school, but
Yeah.
just kind of, more of the, I don't know, system of it and what to do if you see somebody and fluids and, resuscitation.
Yeah. Oh
but
gosh, and that calculating percentage.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
So, burns is this really unique injury where it just goes on. And, you think when you're in the hospital, like, okay, this is the worst of it. I'm going to get out and things are going to get better. But really, burn treatment is this agonizing, long treatment. And so I was almost 20% burned, and mostly from my chest up. I have donor sites on both of my legs, thighs, and calves, back, and they took from my scalp too. And so
wow.
Now what I'm doing, I'm, a little bit more than a year out now. And so what I'm doing now is releases. Some of my grafting was very keloided and restricted my movement. And so they're going in now, opening that up, putting more graft sites there so that I can move.
Yeah.
My right hand is where I have it the worst. The keloiding, and the scar tissue buildup. And
so if you don't mind, guys, whoever is loading links for us today, Katie actually on her page on Facebook has shared photographs of this, and you can actually see what her right hand looks like, and you'll see that she had posted there's a contracture release that she had just done, and you can see the keloid scar. Are you right-handed?
Yes, I am.
Wow. So I imagine that's posed a lot of challenges.
Yeah, and also I have nerve damage in it as well, and so that pain and tingling and numbness that I get from that side. The laser treatments are more for resurfacing, and so my face especially was very thick. The scars were, and on my neck, and so the CO2 is really helped to bring down that scar tissue and help with my movement. I have a hard time like looking up, and so it's all been great to kind of loosen up this grafting site and loosen up some of the tissues, so I'm able to regain some of my motion again.
Wow. Wow. And I was reading one of your posts. It was a pretty raw post, I felt like, where you were describing how it feels emotionally to go through that with each treatment. I just I just can't imagine. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get deep and emotional on this video. Please forgive me, but I was reading through your posts today and just some of what you have shared, just the raw look at recovery. And, you know, I don't know if you have experienced this, but one of the things that I've noticed going through my own life challenges is that when people say, wow, you're so strong, and you kind of look at it like, if you've gone through something where somebody just says that to you all the time, I feel like at a certain point you just stop and say, but I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice to be anything but strong to get through it. And sometimes that, I feel like, becomes a little bit of a smack in the face when people say you're so strong. You know, it gets kind of complicated, I think.
Yeah, I think for me, I appreciate all the courage and prayers and thoughts and just kind
Yeah.
words. It's really nice to see. My favorite thing is when I get a bunch of kiddos and they write me letters and send it to me, and I
Oh
that's.
gosh.
But yeah, like you said, you don't have a choice to be strong. I've got 3 boys of my own and a husband, and you kind
Yeah.
of just move on and try to make the best of what you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I admire you for talking about it, because you do have a choice to talk about it or not talk about it, and you're talking about it. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, because people can learn from what you went through, and it to go through the emotional process of recognizing what you went through, and to take that and to actually find a way to sort of put that energy into something you can build and grow and work on and put into the world. I really admire you for that, because it's easy to get lost in the dark times and the hard stuff and not want to put that kind of energy into the world. So I just, you know what, I admire you deeply for that. And I'm glad to be able to kind of work with you with the goals of changing the trends in healthcare workplace violence.
Yeah. Well,
Definitely.
no, and thank you. I wanted to share my story from a medical aspect. Not only am I a nurse, but now being on the patient
Absolutely.
side, because I think a lot of
Yeah.
people don't understand how workplace violence affects somebody, especially a burn patient. This isn't, you get shot and they stitch you up and
Yeah.
spend time in the ICU and you get released. This is an ongoing battle in medical, needs. And so I
Yeah.
just to share not only the physical but the emotional side of that. And
Absolutely.
as a nurse, you see a lot of different patients and you don't get that side very much, and I'm in this unique position where I can share some of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you are, because, we don't know. Nursing is so huge, and we have so many different directions we can go with our careers in nursing. And we don't get to know the other side a lot of times, because nursing is so big. So I might work in cardiac, but I don't know what it's like to be a cardiac patient. So yeah. So are you working now? What are you doing now?
So right now I'm still active duty. I am here at the Wounded Warrior Battalion, and so it's a battalion that the Army will put you in if you're wounded. Though it's kind of like a medical hold. And so right now my job is to recover. I go to appointments every day, and I'm a patient is my main job. I'm very blessed to be able to work on some of the committees here. Major General Temple put together a committee to look at workplace violence and prevention. And so I've been working on that committee and doing some public speaking now. Just
I love that.
yeah, with the AMED Center in school, which is great. I did my first one a couple weeks ago with my good friend John, and he's
Yeah.
also a violence survivor. And
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
it's great to work with, people that have been through it, and he's further out than me, so it's just great support network of people that care and want to
Yeah.
be proactive and want to stop workplace violence.
I love that. I love that so much. So, I've been loosely following along what it is that you're working for in relation to workplace violence and changes. I actually found a GoFundMe that it looks like somebody started for you. And on there, I saw, I wanted to share the quote with the group, that you are hoping to lead the effort for needed change at the highest levels of the military services and to work tirelessly to help modify the flawed system that bars recovery for service members. And I was hoping you might share what you're doing for that.
Yeah, so right now I'm just in the beginning. I really want to work with the military, and I think that they have this unique opportunity to spread awareness about workplace violence. First and
Yeah.
foremost, what is it and what are the warning signs and education within the military? And I really want to help with that and spread the word that this happens. This doesn't just happen in our hospital systems, but it happens DoD wide, like in the civilian world. And the first step in that is education and really reporting it. And once you report it, like you can see in my case, I identified workplace violence early on. But when you report it, what is the system in place to protect these people? And that's really what I want to work on. Is the system that we have now failed. It failed so incredibly awful. And we just need a strong, comprehensive system in place to take care of these people, to take care of our soldiers. And there needs to be accountability within our military, within the DoD, for these kinds of actions.
Do you think that, have you identified steps that you'll need to take to make this happen?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I am a lowly lieutenant, soon to be captain, but still lieutenant.
Congratulations on that promotion, by the way.
Thank you. So I'm working with, within the military to try to voice my concerns, along with, voicing my concerns to local legislature and trying to get them involved, because it's really an issue within the federal government. Like you said, you guys are pushing for action within the states and trying to make sure that people are accountable, hospitals are accountable for what happens to nurses. The same needs to happen in the federal government. The DoD wide needs to be accountable for what happens within the workplace, and making sure that the workplace has a safe environment, and that we're
That's okay.
With setting that standard, making sure that everybody knows that this is the standard, we won't accept it, and that we're working towards this goal.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, basically, if I understand this correctly, what we are working on here in Silent No More Foundation, on having different legislative protections and talking about it and being silent no more, reporting and all of that stuff. What we are working on, Katie is working on pretty much the same thing, but in the military federally. So what we are doing is so parallel. And I love that, if I love to be able to offer support with your efforts too, because I mean, if we'd had this conversation 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But now I feel kind of, I feel really blessed to know that we have some numbers here that we can offer you. And, I personally know nothing about what it is that you are facing within the military and DoD. I don't know anything about it, but I'm happy to learn, and I'm happy to support you in any way that you need it, because that is really important. I mean, we're working on it at the state level for civilians, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing is separate from what we're doing. We can work together on this.
I think that's so important, because within the military, it's kind of a closed system, but we face the same challenges, inside and outside, and just dealing with those challenges, and like you said, making awareness. These things are happening, and how are we gonna address them? And then what is the accountability look like for them? Not only for the leadership, but within our ranks. within
Yeah.
everybody. I want to
Yeah.
educate, but it's everybody's responsibility. So if you can report it, if you can talk about it, I think it's going to take all of us to make this positive change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can totally work on this together. Um, I don't know if you have followed along or looked into this, but we have been doing a little bit of research in Kansas for civilian stuff. And in Kansas, it turns out that there was actually legislation proposed, and the only thing that it addressed was the level of penalty for an assault on healthcare workers. And its goal was to make it a felony with steeper penalties. And this was back in 2015. And after it was introduced, it got large support from everybody except for Kansas Nursing Association. They only gave neutral support, which is ridiculous. But it ended up getting stuck in committee. It died in committee because of the expense of it. They didn't want to pay to put more people in jail or put them through court cases. So I know what we're working on, especially, we're coming up on the rally on November 1st. It's challenging, and it's a huge fight to put in, and the people can all say that they want this, and it doesn't mean it'll happen. So we've got a big fight up ahead, and I'm glad to have you with us, and I'm glad that we can help support you. It's just,
and I think
it's
the more
crazy.
people that know about it, and also I think that the seriousness, once you make this issue a serious issue, I kind of relate it to in the military, sexual assault and sexual harassment, abuse. There's so much training that goes into that, and we've really focused in on this is happening, this is a serious issue, and we're going to stop it. But it's part of the larger system of workplace violence, and I think until we say that this is workplace violence, and we need to address all of these areas, including bullying and anything that's part of it, and make it a crime. It's not okay to assault healthcare workers. It's not okay to have workplace violence at all.
Ever. It's never okay. It is never okay. And the fact that I can go to work right now on a hospital floor, and I can have a patient assault me, and because I am a nurse in the hospital assigned to this patient, I can't do anything about that. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. And it shouldn't. Sorry, what I'm going to say is going to be crass, and please forgive me for saying it this way, but I'm thinking probably you've thought it too. It should not take setting a nurse on fire and stabbing her multiple times to get people to pay attention.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. And go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, so in the beginning, I said things early on when he was verbally abusing me and saying things that were inappropriate and yelling at me and screaming, sending inappropriate emails, and people kept telling me, well, you can't do anything about it. He didn't, assault you. He didn't do these things. What about the proactive measures? There needs to be proactive measures in place where it shouldn't get to, okay, now he set me on fire. Are you guys going to do something about it now?
I agree.
Those proactive measures that could have been put in place and saved me from the very beginning.
Yeah. And why can't we fire somebody who is assaulting people verbally?
Yeah.
Like that really just amazes me. If somebody treated somebody like that in any other circumstance, they would have been fired. You can't treat your colleagues and your superiors that way.
Yeah. And I think we need to look at our hiring process and who we are retaining within our military system. He didn't just, he wasn't just being verbally abusive to me. He was, making harassment, harassing patients and saying inappropriate things to patients and telling them that he was going to shred their paperwork. I mean, he worked with a very special It's called the Exceptional Family Member Program. So it's a special group of people that have medical issues that need to see specialists, and the military wants to take extra good care of them to make sure they have their medical needs taken care of. And
Yeah.
he worked for these people, and he was harassing them, and still we let it go, and we let him work in our system.
How doesn't that get you fired? Like, I don't understand.
That's a great question. I'd like to know that too.
Yeah. I mean, in any other situation, we would have been, people get fired for that. So
There has to be accountability. That's what it comes down to. Is leadership is all
yes.
about accountability, and we need to stop passing the buck to the next person and take it head and deal with these issues, deal with our hiring actions, deal with how are we bringing people into our system and who are we bringing into our system, and then retaining people. Are they working? Because if you look at it, it's our tax, it's our tax money at work. We're paying these people to work in the federal system, and we need to hold them to a standard and make sure that we're all accountable for our work.
Yeah, this is crazy. I wanted to do some comments because I know people want to talk to you and get to know you. I can't see comments on my, oh my goodness, this is such a bust. Well, guys, for your comments, I'm so sorry I haven't been reading them. I'm still not seeing comments on my phone, and my computer's only showing me like 3 comments at a time. But I will go through comments and answer anything that you guys want to say, and I'm sure that Katie will do the same afterwards too. So I don't want you guys to feel like you're being neglected by us. It's technical difficulties, I promise. But Katie, before we go, I want to say that I can't wait to meet you, and I can't wait to support you. It's possible that I won't be able to stay for the day of sentencing, but I really look forward to seeing you at the rally. Are you going to be able to make it for the full event, or do you think you might not?
I'm going to make it to the full event. I really want to be there, and I want to talk to as many people as possible. I really want to spread awareness, in prevention, workplace violence. I just wanted to share with you. So we did set up a web page, and so on there it's called thearmynurse.com, and on there you can kind of see what's going on, not only medically but also in the legal realm of things, because we do want to change, and we don't want to just talk about change. We want real comprehensive change within the federal system, and so we want people to be active, and like you said, call to action. Let's work together on this.
Absolutely. So aside from that, if there was any message that you could get out to the community, what do you want people to know? What is important to you going forward that people can know? Your words of wisdom.
I don't know. I think going forward, like you said, I think that we are a community, and not only healthcare providers, but veterans, civilians, and soldiers. And moving forward, I think that we have this awesome ability to band together and to change things that need to be changed, that we can identify and say, this shouldn't happen. A nurse, a volunteer, a service member shouldn't be working in our office and worry about being lit on fire. Our service members should be safe at home, and we can do this together, and we can work together to make this a better place for everybody to work.
I agree completely. Well, I'm glad that we can be a team together, and my group is your group. Anything that you need, you just come in here and you let us know, and we got your back. Definitely.
Thanks. I'm really excited to see you in Kansas.
Yes, me too. All right, so unfortunately we don't have comments to go through on my phone, so we're going to cut this one short, guys. But Katie, it was great to meet you, and this week's call to action: be silent no more. And send donations to Katie's GoFundMe, which is pinned to the top of comments. And send donations to us too. We are at hwpa2017 at comcast.net on PayPal, and that will help us get to Kansas and beyond. So, Katie, I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and everybody else, you have a great rest of your day as well, and have a safe rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.